Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the national championship. It is going to be decided on next Monday. It's on January 8th. It's in Houston, Texas, and we finally, after many weeks, many months of trying to see whose team is better, which team is going to make it, we have a final two. We have the Michigan Wolverines and we have the Washington Huskies. This matchup is going to be one of the best matchups we've ever had because it's one of these matchups that, for an average fan, you can't really be upset about who wins, unless if you bet. And if you bet, then good luck for you, because I would not bet on this game. I can see this game going a lot of ways. Right now, Michigan's opening up as 4.5-point favorites. That was immediately after the Sugar Bowl happened. So we're going to figure out what happens with Washington's running back, Dylan Johnson, whatever his name is, number 7. Hopefully he's okay. He's been toughening out throughout the year, but his foot injury looked very bad. That almost cost Washington the game, actually. So we won't. I already gave a live reaction to both of these games. My brother's a part of the Michigan one. He's a Michigan fan, so check that out. We kind of talk about the injury and stuff of that nature. So yeah. This matchup right here, it's perfect. You have Michael Penix on one side, who, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, especially after this game, think he should have been the Heisman. He clearly shows that he was the best quarterback in the country, in my opinion. Their run game wasn't spectacular. It was decent, but their throwing game was amazing. Every deep ball he went for turned out to be a good thing for them. He had no turnovers. He threw a perfect game. He went 29 for 38, 440 for 430 yards and 2 touchdowns. You couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, he made the right plays. When he had the scramble, he did. He didn't take a lot of sacks, if any. He just made he had almost a perfect game. That's as best as you can ask for. And for Michigan, you have J.J. McCarthy. He had a very rocky start to the Alabama game, nearly throwing an interception to start off the game. And start off with some incompletions. He ran the ball a little bit. He got some stuff there. And then the last drive of the game was whenever he fully started to click on all cylinders. I mean, after the second half. The first half he was solid in the second quarter mainly. He had a decent drive. Then he had a nice play. The slant pattern, got a dude for a 38-yard touchdown. Got a passing touchdown to Corum. And then in the second half, they were slowed up for a long time. And because of that, Bama was able to make a comeback and take the lead. And it looked like Bama was going to win it. But the stones on Harbaugh to go for it on 4th and 2, game on the line, and get it. You got to wide open play. You got a wide open man of Corum. Hit him, catch it, make a play. He did that. McCarthy led the drive. A lot of close, very close plays. Lawson tipped the pass that somehow got to Roman Wilson. Oh my gosh. You can't ask for anything more suspenseful than this. And Michigan played great in overtime. The run game was great and all that. The last call by Alabama was very questionable. Very questionable. They got the look that they wanted, but the snap was off. Milroe had the run up the middle. Knowing how the snap was all game, it was a little bit iffy trusting just a QB run. I would have liked them to try to do something else, but I didn't want Alabama to win. I think Jermaine Burton getting hurt did make a big difference. I think if he didn't get hurt, they would have gone to a fade route or a one-on-one route for him, probably against Will Johnson. Those were having a battle that game. I think that would have been the play, but congratulations to Michigan. Their defense played phenomenal. I don't think people are giving this enough credit. They had 6 sacks, 6 or 7 sacks. That is just something that doesn't just happen. It was phenomenal. They got pass rush like no other team has done it all year. More than Georgia did. More than any other team did. I think even more than Texas did. More than anyone else did. Maybe comparable to Arkansas, which was very much strange to say that. But Arkansas had like 5 sacks against them. But Michigan got 6. They had 5 sacks in the first half. That's tied for the most a Saban team's ever given up at Alabama. And for a half. That just phenomenal stuff there from the pass rush. Secondary played a very good job. but you're going to have to do a very different style against Washington. You don't have to worry about the scramble as much. And seeing how if Johnson's injury is severe enough that he can't play, I'd be surprised if he doesn't play. I think you can give one good push in this last game. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this game. Secondary, and there's been some tests that Michigan's had in the secondary this year, mainly against Maryland, in my opinion, Ohio State. And Marvin Harrison Jr. did very good against them, but he does very good against everyone. Even against Penn State, when they had like maybe 20 points, he had over 100 yards and a touchdown. He's just very good. Romeo Odunze, oh my gosh, that's going to be a tough thing to guard. That's going to be a tough person to guard, because he's arguably the best receiver in the country. Then you have Julian you have McMillan, you have Polk, you have guys that can go make big plays for this team, and they do it consistently. If they could do it against Texas, I bet they could do it against a lot of other teams, because Texas's somewhat problem was their secondary, and they abused it like no other team did. I didn't think it was going to be that much of to this level of an issue. I thought they might get 300, 340 yards, close to that, but that's 100 more than what I expected them to get. They got, my gosh. The run game is going to be a big thing, but they're able to win this game without a great run game. That shows a lot. Another thing, their defense for Washington. Secondary played absolutely phenomenal compared to what they were supposed to be. For three quarters, they played a great game. The last little bit, they played an okay game. They made the plays when they had to, especially Elijah Jackson in the end zone, knocking away from Adonai Mitchell to win the game. They locked up Xavier Worthy. They held A.D. Mitchell to check for a while. There's tight ends they let open, which will be interesting to see how that works out. The tight ends were the main things getting open for Texas, and the running backs. They like to go to the running backs and pass plays and to their tight ends a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how they make those adjustments there. Washington was able to make a lot of negative plays. And that's interesting to see what's going to happen. Texas had a lot of fumble problems throughout the game. Who else had fumble problems? Michigan. They had a lot of special teams fumble issues. Washington had a fumble and had a muff punt in the game against Texas. Michigan's got to fix up their special teams. They got to make sure they're good, because Washington will take advantage of that. Washington's struggle this game was against the run game. They're able to force 2 fumbles, and I think against Baxter, and then Blue was the last name for the other one. But they still ran the ball very well. Braxton, whatever. They still ran the ball very well overall. They had holding the ball problems, but I think that just might be a one-time thing. One thing that Michigan's very good at running the ball is ball security. They don't usually fumble the ball running it. It's usually it's usually if they make a fumble mistake, it's on special teams, which they did against Alabama. So they got to fix that up, which I have no doubt that they will. I bet that's going to be one of the main things they're going to be talking about this week is don't lose the ball. Just focus on it. Just fair catch it if you have to. Because that almost cost them the whole game. Oh, man. Ooh. Why did they switch the punt return at the end? I don't know why. Unless the dude got hurt. I don't know why. But, yeah. This is the problem for Washington's defense, is that the rush defense was a little bit iffy. They got pass rush, but you got the best rush team in the country going at you. You got to play the middle. You got to play up and rely on your secondary to make plays. That might allow some deep shots to happen. They didn't really take many against Alabama, but that's Alabama. This is a different team here. I think they'll probably take 2 or 3 at least. I don't know for a fact if they will, because Harbaugh sometimes doesn't like to take those deep shots in big games. He doesn't want to lose the game early, but I think they will have opportunities to. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they'll have opportunities to. And then for Michigan, the one iffiness is their secondary at times. And Washington proves that. They prove that they can attack any secondary throw at them. Oregon, they attacked. Oregon State, they were able to do stuff against. Even in the rain and the cold, oh my gosh, in the night game, they still did pretty good against Oregon State throwing the ball. Against Texas, they're able to throw it. This is going to be a tough game for both teams. It's going to be a very, very tough game. Michigan's strength is one of the few kind of iffinesses in Washington's game. And at least against Texas, it showed. That'll be interesting to see. And one of the things that Michael Penix one of the things Washington excels at Michigan might give up. They played very good defense against Alabama secondary. I think Washington's offense is so good that they will find a way. They will find a way to make something out of this. They're 9-0 in close games. They're 9-0 in close games. You can't let that pass. That is ridiculous. Michigan's also pretty good in close games this year. They're clutch. They have that it factor. Both teams feel like they have the destiny to win it. Both teams have not won a title since the 90s. This is going to come down to the wire. I bet this game's going to be back and forth for a lot of it. I would not be surprised if this game goes to overtime. I really wouldn't. I'm kind of expecting that. I really am. So, it's going to be a tough. This is a tough one. I think the run game for Washington's got to show up a lot. I've trusted Washington throughout this year. I also trusted Michigan throughout this year. It's going to be close. It's definitely going to be a close game. It's going to... What a way for the 14 playoff to end is this way. I was thinking about it today. I'm rocking with the guy I thought was going to be the Heisman throughout the year. And I would be hypocritical for me to change that just now. I got the score being 39-37. Give me Washington to win the title. I just trust Penix too much. I just trust Michael Penix too much, man. He's so good when it matters the most. I can't go against him. I've loved the guy since he was at Indiana. I can't pick against him. I think this game can go any way. It's as close as a 50-50 chance for both teams as you can get. I think they'll be able to attack the secondary. I think they'll make the big plays when they have to. I think Michigan can too, but they got to fix up their special teams. And that's, I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. Hopefully that's just a one-game thing for Michigan. But yeah, that's my opinion. Put down in the comments what you feel about this. Give your own opinion. So yeah, about this. I'd love to hear y'all's opinion. So yeah, hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all. And God bless y'all.